Project Zomboid has 1,000 ways to play and 1,000,000 ways to die, but knowing which weapons will suit your playstyle and which will do best in a fight might keep you alive just a little bit longer. This video is the capstone of my best weapon simulation series, where we've been testing to see which weapons will serve you best in a single, epic, story-defining fight against a horde. Today's twist, and the final twist for this series, is I have now run the simulation not only with every weapon in the game, but at every weapon skill and maintenance skill level as well. So if you were one of the many people who requested this information, thank you for the suggestion. I found these results super interesting, and here's how I'm going to present them to you. First, I've put all of the results in a spreadsheet. You're going to see it linked down in the description. Second, in this video, I'm going to present to you 3 things. First thing is the bulk of the video. We're going to look at the top 10 list for each level, and you'll see as different weapons rise and fall from this list. This might help you decide which weapons you want to focus on at different levels of the game. Second, as we go through each level, I will also explain any bonuses which affect that level, because several weapon types get different or unique advantages at different levels. Third, at the end of this video, I will tell you the top 10 count for each weapon category, so you can have an idea of which weapon categories might be the most practical to focus on over the course of the game. So if you like this kind of crunchy number stuff and you want to support my channel, you can drop a like or a comment along the way today, or even smash subscribe if you'd like to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by September. I might make it, I might not, but I'll definitely do better with your help. Alright, so before we jump into the results today, let's talk about the simulator that made them. Just like the last videos, I'll explain any new features to the simulator, but for repeated features, I'm going to link you to the last videos for an explanation. First, most importantly, what are we simulating? Basically, we're asking the question, which weapon will get you the most kills before you cannot fight anymore? There's 2 major limits here, which are the Exhaustion limit and the weapon break limit. Once a weapon hits its limit in the simulation, we record its number of kills, and that is its score. That test then gets repeated for each weapon 1,000 times, and we take the average score. Second, as we said in the first video, we're using a default character here, so 5 strength, 5 fitness, and no special perks or bonuses. Everything is starting at level 0. Third, then, in combat itself, we're accounting for different combat factors. So jaw stabs and spear bonuses are not being used because they don't apply to a full horde. Positioning bonuses like back attacks or attacks against fallen Zeds are also not being used for the same reason. The close range penalty is being used, and we're assuming that every weapon is going to hit at 90% of its range. We're also using the combo bonus today for extra damage wherever it's appropriate. We're using all of the exact endurance or stamina costs for these attacks, and we're assuming that no attacks will miss because that has an extra exhaustion cost. We're also allowing for the katana effect, which will reduce your endurance cost if you deal overkill damage. And if you want any details on these factors, check out my first video in this series, which I'm going to link here. Okay, now there might be some other combat factors you're curious about, but don't worry, I've included some more details about that. We're assuming a base panic level of 2 at all times, and we're also assuming that the simulated character is able to charge up their attacks sometimes by holding down the right mouse button before attacking. There is a 10% chance of this happening on each of their attacks. So if you want any details about that, check out the second video in this series, which focuses on level 0 performance. That link should be popping up right about now. Now, new factors for today's simulation. Basically, it's what you'd expect. We're adding different bonuses at different weapon levels. So let me start you off with the basics, and then when special things come up, we'll look at them at the level they come up in as we go through the lists. So first, basic damage. Every weapon category has the same base damage multiplier, and that starts at 0.3 at level 0. So you're only dealing 30% of the weapon's possible damage. This goes up by about 0.1, it goes up by 0.1 at every level until you reach level 10, when you're dealing 1.3 times regular damage. So more than 4 times your damage at level 0. Second, let's talk crit chance. Every weapon category is the same on this. Each level gives you an extra 3% chance for a critical hit. Also, even though we're not using jaw stabs today, I'll just mention, the higher skill with knives makes it less likely that your knife will get stuck in a zombie when you jaw stab. Okay, next up, maintenance. For our test today, we're going to be leveling up maintenance at the same time we level up weapon skills. So level 1 weapon means level 1 maintenance, level 5 means level 5 maintenance, okay, like that. And here's what that does for your weapon breakage. Now, heads up, this gets a little mathy. The game gives you a chance of 1 in something to damage your weapon every time you attack. Let's call that something your condition score. So the average condition score across all weapons is 10. So that's a 1 in 10 chance to damage the weapon. Maintenance and weapon skill combine to give you a bonus on that condition value. The game takes your maintenance skill and half of your weapon skill, and it adds those together. So then it divides that by 2 and adds this to your condition value. So let's say you have level 4 in both skills, weapon and maintenance. You get 4 points from maintenance, 2 points from weapon skill, and that's a total of 6 points. So the game will divide that by 2, and it adds 3 points to your condition value. So that's how that works. Now, even trickier, this is just the point about programming, but the game uses integer values here, which just means it doesn't care about values after the decimal. So if your total skill bonuses here is 3 points, and then you divide that in half, you only get 1 point bonus instead of 1.5. So just FYI here, the simulator is going to account for that as well. Alright, and finally, let's talk about endurance cost and exhaustion. Your weapon skill has no effect on your endurance cost for any weapon. Almost. There actually is one sneaky moment where some weapon types get a substantial reduction to endurance cost for leveling up, but we'll talk about that when we get there. For now, just imagine what weapon types do you think would get that bonus? Now, I should also mention that in build 41.73, still pretty new, spears got a bit of a nerf, where the weight of the spear was increased. That means it's going to be more exhausting to use. This resulted in a performance drop of about 30% reduction in their number of kills before exhaustion. So we might expect to see fewer spears here today than we would have seen on a top list for build 41.72. Okay, that's that. I think we're ready to do this, so let's do this. Here is your leaderboard for today, and you're going to see here the max kills for every weapon. You'll also see there are actually 12 spots on this board, because in nearly every test that I've done, the katana and the machete come in spots 1 and spot 2 every time. So do you think that will last today? Will anyone finally overcome the ultra-performant tyranny of the machete or the katana? Let's see. So with level 0 weapon skill and level 0 maintenance, here is your first list. In 12th place with 21 kills, we have the hunting knife spear. 11th place, 22 kills, we have a 2-way tie between the shovel and snow shovel. 10th place, a 3-way tie, machete spear, double-bladed canoe paddle, and the baseball bat. In 9th place with 25 kills, a big fan favorite, we've got the crowbar. Then in 8th place, another popular one, 26 kills here on the hand axe. Spot number 7 with 28 kills, we have a tie between the hammer and ball peen hammer. And then number 6 now with 29 kills, we have the regular axe and the spiked baseball bat. In 5th place for level 0 at 32 kills, we have the nightstick and the pickaxe together. Spot number 4 is going to the lead pipe with 35 kills. 3rd place is up to 42 kills now with the garden fork. And then in 1st and 2nd place, no surprise, we have the katana and the machete with 67 kills for 2nd place and 148 kills on that 1st place. So let's begin. Let's level up here to level 1 and see what happens. You see the katana and the machete keep spots 1 and 2 here. The 2 hammers shoot up to 3rd place, which pushes down the garden fork and the lead pipe. Then we have some new contenders with the club hammer and the pipe wrench coming in, as well as the garden hoe. Nightstick, pickaxe, and especially the crowbar have all fallen a bit at level 1. Level 2 now, still no special bonuses, so let's see. Yet again, we have katana and machete at the top. The shovels have rocketed up to 3rd place now, and you can see there's a big kerfuffle going on for spots 10 and 11 now, as the metal bar, the meat cleaver, and the hunting knife all join the list. We also see the wooden mallet here for the first time. Level 3. Now hold your horses, we have our first level bonus here. Any guess what it is? For every weapon that is an axe, a blunt weapon, or a spear, we now get a 10% damage bonus in addition to the standard damage increase that all weapons get. So let's see what that does to our numbers. Alright, so we see that not only do we have katana and machete holding onto their spots, but shovels are also keeping their spot at number 3. The garden hoe has come up. We now see that the wrench is here for the first time. The canoe paddle, double-bladed, is down in 10th place, while meat cleaver is still holding spot 11. And uh-oh, the lead pipe has nearly dropped off the list now. So level 4, let's see what's happening. The shovels have fallen to spot 4, replaced by the hunting knife all the way up in spot 3 now. Very curious, we see that the hammer is not with the ball peen hammer anymore, just by pure random chance of the simulator. And let's take a look at these numbers here. Our average kills in these top performers stands at 57 now, up from 36 kills back at level 0. So let's keep moving up in the world. Level 5, would you look at that? The machete has finally been bested and dropped from its number 2 spot. The shovels are still up there in 4th place. They don't want to move. And now check this out. Down at the bottom, we see the lacrosse stick popping up for a visit. It sort of seems like it got an invitation to this party by accident, but there it is. Speaking of which, if you're enjoying the party here, remember the like button and any comments you leave today will help YouTube get this video out to more people. Alright, so level 6. Still no extra special bonuses, so let's see how we're doing. Our top 3 positions remain unchanged. No, actually make that the top 4, the top 5 positions, all the same still, as the shovels and garden hoe continue to dig into spots 4 and spot 5. And look at that, spot 6 now, the lacrosse stick, wow, and the ice pick joins us up there too in spot 7 for the first time. Way down at the bottom too, do you see it? The golf club has dropped by. We see all these fragile weapons performing much better now as that maintenance score continues to improve. Okay, pump the brakes a minute here, let's look at level 7 for another special weapon bonus. This one again is for axes, blunts, and spears, with another bonus to damage. The old bonus was 10%, here that's going to increase to 20%, so a 1.2 multiplier instead of a 1.1 damage multiplier. Let's see what that's done now, here's level 7. Our top 3 spots are still locked in as they were, but check out the lacrosse stick and the ice pick, really pushing for those top spots now. We also have a new appearance by a very sustainable weapon, you see it there, the stone axe. Garden fork is still holding 9th position for the 3rd time in a row, but those hammers are finally starting to drop off now, moving into spot 10. Look at that happy little visitor down at the bottom though, we have the crafted spear is finally making its way onto the list. Good to have you, crafted spear, glad you could make it. Level 8, let's pause again, we have another bonus. Who do you think it's for? That's right, same as ever, the axes, blunts, and spears. It turns out they are the only category to get these special level bonuses. Here, very substantial, these weapons now get a 20% reduction to endurance cost. So we should see those kills before exhaustion really jump up for those weapons now. Let's get back to it then. Wow, now this was the biggest surprise to me in all of these results. Just look at that lacrosse stick. 3rd place now. Shovels are back up to 4th, ice pick is still holding in at 5th, but the machete has fallen to 6th place at this point. Garden hoe 2 is down now in 7th place, but spots 11 and 12 remain unchanged. Average kills here now, for those keeping track, is up to 75 kills average. That's up 20 kills from level 4. Alright, so level 9. If you get to level 9 in a weapon skill, congratulations, you really committed to these weapons. So let's see what that gets you. We have the top 3 weapons still holding their positions, but the ice pick now has swapped places with the shovels for 4th place, and machete and garden hoe still hold their previous spots. Stone axe has moved back into 8th place after a brief dip down, then the hammers and mallet are still where they were. Wooden mallet here for the 3rd time in 11th place again. Oh, and look at that, the hand scythe and golf club are both making another appearance, tying up 12th place. Finally, level 10. This is as endgame as it gets. This will finally answer the question, can any weapon here defeat the katana? And the answer, my friends, is no. Still maxing out with exhaustion at 180 kills, the same kills it's had since level 3, the katana remains the undisputed king of melee weapons. Look at our spunky little hunting knife though, 139 kills now, it's come a long way from its 12 kills at level 0. The lacrosse stick too, starting at level 0 almost in last place with a grand total of 4 kills, it has now come to dominate with 103 kills and of course much better reach than the hunting knife. The ice pick too was doing even worse actually at the start, it only had 3 kills. Now it's up to a lofty 101 kills. The shovels and the stone axe have secured a 5th place finish here, while machete remains locked into its 6th place for the last time. Garden hoe as well has spent 3 levels as our number 7 spot, while the wrench and club hammer have popped up to 8th place to finish here. Now, do you see that from out of nowhere? Appearing for the first time, check out the audacity on the little screwdriver there, swooping into 9th place at the end. The hand scythe has also jumped up here, going from 12th place now into 9th. And our final spots, the bottom 3, have all held on to their positions from level 9. So, wow, what an emotional roller coaster as some underdogs charged to the head of the pack at the end there. But you're probably wondering which weapon category dominated this list. Well, you can interpret this information as you like, but you saw clearly that Long Blade completely owned 1st place, with the katana and actually the machete performed very well too. So is Long Blade the best weapon category? It depends on your loot spawn. Right? Chances are, Long Blade isn't going to be the most practical category. You're never going to find it, so it's only a theoretical winner today. So to paint a more practical picture, let me show you this. Take it as you like. Of these 6 weapon categories, each one spent some time on this list. So let's see who spent the most time on this list, broadly represented by many different weapons occupying high spots. In last place then, we have the axes, which only appeared on our list today a total of 12 times. Fifth place goes to spears, which have tried their best but only scored 16 points in this contest. In fourth place, with 20 appearances, we have the small blade weapons, and a hair above that in third place is the long blade category with 21 spots taken. So the top 2 spots today actually go to the cousin categories of blunt weapons, with long blunts taking 54 top spots and small blunt weapons clinching the number 1 spot with 59 spots on today's lists. So, depending on your playstyle, there is perhaps a case to be made for blunt weapons as being the best weapons over the course of your entire playthrough in Project Zomboid. Do you think this will work for your playstyle? Are you going to be changing up your weapon sets after watching this? Let us know down in the comments. Alright, so smash the subscribe button if you want to see my next tests. I'll be honest, this whole series took a lot of time to produce, so I'm going to go back and give my walkthrough series some love with some new episodes. But in the meantime, drop some comments if you have ideas for more tests that you'd like to see when I come back to it. I record those comments, and when I see a pattern emerging in your topics, some similar questions that I can line up into another series, I will definitely look at those topics more closely than others. I also do a 60-second summary of the Zomboid developer blog. It's called Thursdoid, comes out every 2 weeks. So subscribe and ring the bell if you want to be among the first people to see my super quick take on that. Highlights from the fresh Zomboid news. So thanks for watching today's video. I hope we all learned something today, and until next time, survivors, stay safe and keep your meat fresh out there in the end times.